And welcome back. And we are now at part 2 of this week's new comics, bitches! We're going to keep steaming right along here. Okay, so we've got Batwoman, number 8. Because obviously this is, the new 52, this is the number 8 week, so I don't even know why I bother saying the numbers. But, okay, so we've got, again, this kind of discombobulated story where we have, Batwoman, Morrow, Chase, Maggie, all these, all these different stories and what exactly is going on, and basically, it's hard to really understand what has happened here because this book it does really go kind of back and forth. Now, as far as the one story that is the most compelling here, which is the tale that Chase basically tells that Maggie, Kate's girlfriend, is ready to break up with her, that she's actually been doing surveillance on her. And because Maggie is involved in the case that that Chase and Batwoman are looking into, well, it might prove to be very bad for both of them. But she has to make sure that her girlfriend stays interested in her, so that she can kind of mine her for information, the way that Chase is mining Batwoman for information. Of course, Bat is still in a coma. Jacob is still with her, and there's a lot going on there. And of course, we have the whole thing with Morrow and these, grotesques that they're constantly fighting. And this young man who essentially seems like that he was a rapist, and they bond this horrifying thing to his hand after they've cut it off. Again, it's there's some really interesting stuff going on here, but it's a little difficult in the going back and forth part, because okay, well, I don't know what's going on here, so I've got to go back to this page here to remember what exactly just came before, or did this happen before? What's happening now? It's always been bookended with Batwoman's tale, exactly what she's doing. And of course, in this particular issue, she is forced to actually go up against her girlfriend as Batwoman, and to try and free this, the woman that they're trying to get on their side, the woman Soon. And I know a lot of people have been not liking this book because Amy Reeder's been the artist and not J.H. Williams III, and I can understand that as an idea, but not as a criticism, because I do think that Amy Reeder's artwork is really good. She does have a pretty novel way of constructing the panels. Is it good as good as J.H. Williams? No, and it's not going to be ever. So, I mean, yes, we will look forward to the day that he returns to this book as an artist rather than. And Amy Reeder, I think, is gone after this issue, if I'm not mistaken, or after issue number 9. Something or other, she either left the book or is being taken off the book. So, I guess that's not a criticism that much will have to bear. But anyway, the story is ramping up. It's getting more interesting. It's still a little disjointed. It's still a little too disjointed for my tastes, but still, it's getting more solid. Williams and Blackman have, they're obviously trying to put together a really interesting and compelling story, something that you don't normally see out of, especially a Bat Family book. Well, I don't know, not, usually, but, something different than just your average stuff, because Batwoman is not your average character and shouldn't be your average book, and that's fine. And I'm appreciating the fact that this has more to do with kind of the more supernatural side of the things that go on in Gotham. But again, better than the issue previous. I would say this is a 4 out of 5. again, it's really solid work from Reader and Williams and Blackman. I think they're, I think they could be doing better, but they're certainly not doing bad. Another one, this was another excellent issue this week, and that is Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, again, number 8. Jeff Lemire, I think, if memory serves, he is actually leaving this book, which is going to be very sad, because this has been one of the more original books of the New 52. And while it is kind of a horror book at heart, it's also a team book. As far as Shade being a team and being a unit, and it basically goes into the tale. This is the tale of the spawn of Frankenstein. This is basically Lady Frankenstein and Frankenstein himself. Basically, Father Time back in the 50s used their DNA, their very unique DNA, to create a child. The child, of course, is a murderer, and first time around, Frankenstein kills it. And this is the second time around where they feel that they need to kill it again, because it has actually been kept alive in one form or another by Father Time. And basically, we have, everything in Shade kind of getting out of order. Ray Palmer, the Atom, he's very angry with what's been going on with Shade. This is really, like him versus Father Time in this issue, in the sense that, Father Time is just, he's playing, she, the little girl, is playing around too much with these lives. And, ultimately, it leads them into this confrontation, final confrontation between Frankenstein, Lady Frankenstein, and their child. And it's a very emotional issue. It's a very powerful issue. Alberto Ponticelli's art is terrific. I'm really going to miss Lemire off this title when he does leave it. But for the time being, it's been just fantastic. 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, I should say, for Frankenstein, Agent of Shade, number 8. Just a terrific, terrific title. Big surprise, probably my most favorite surprise of this week was Batgirl number 8. This is, as you've been watching my reviews of this, you've been probably noticing that I haven't been as big of a fan as I think I should be of this particular title. I felt that for a number of reasons, the main one being that the story, while, I love Simone's take on the character, it just seems to be kind of going nowhere. It's like sometimes the art feels a little bit off. We've got, there are 3 different pencilers, although I didn't notice. There are 3 different pencilers in this particular issue, but I honestly didn't notice that they were different. But basically what we have here, picking up from the last issue, is that they have this man, they have Grotesque, who has just killed this man. He's a collector. He's a consumer. He's like the alpha consumer. He will do anything in order to consume things that are perfect for him. And, basically what they have here, but what's most important to what's going on here is this man, Danny, that is actually the one man that the Joker took with him to attack Barbara Gordon and shoot her and then take Commissioner Gordon hostage. So the fact that she is confronted with this man, one of the 2 men, one of the 2 roughnecks that he brought with, And as the book goes on, we also have other stuff going on. We have her meeting her mother again for kind of an abbreviated conversation again, but this one is a little bit longer, and it's about why Mom Barbara left. And it was ultimately because she was too whacked out by what was going on with James Jr. Because obviously we are going into, if you know about what's going on with James Jr., you know that he is indeed he is a total psychopath, that he was, the main villain of Scott Snyder's incredibly brilliant initial run on Detective Comics, and with Jock and Francesca Francavilla, what's now known as the Black Mirror story arc, even though it's not really what it's called as far as when James Jr. came into it. And that's basically the reason that she took off, was because little James felt that Mom had done something bad, and in order to take it out on her, he killed the family cat, and said that he would do something equally bad to her, to little Barbara, if she didn't go away. And so she just couldn't get it out of her head. So we have this final confrontation here between Batgirl and Grotesque, and with Danny, and we learn the truth about who Danny is. Well, not really the truth about who he is, but what he did, and why Batgirl let him go the first time around. Not just because she was hoping that he would lead him to Grotesque, but also because she does mean something to him. And it's not actually the bad thing that you would think. That's what's really interesting. Of course, the end, the actual end of the issue was, it was just, oh my god, what the fuck, just what's going on? How is this possible? What's going on? What's happening? Oh my god! And it was just like the whole book just turned around in one issue. All of a sudden, it's like, it's vital. It's got guts. It's got something more to say than just, her wondering why she's healthy again. And, it's kind of been a mopey book, I guess, not to put too fine a point on it. But, we have, next month is starting, or the next, the issue 9s are starting with the Court of the Owls. And that's going to go on through all of the Bat books. I'm not going to be getting all of them. I'm only going to be getting the ones that I normally get. But I can't wait to see how that's going to go. I don't recall that it actually is coming in Batwoman, though. I do have to, because it does say which books are going to have that. It has a little checklist in here somewhere, if I remember correctly. And I'm trying to find it. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. That's the graphic novel checklist. Oh, here it is. Okay, so we got All-Star Western, which is not a Bat Family book. Yeah. Batman number 8, of course, which already has come and gone. Batman number... No, it hasn't come and gone yet. Batman number 9, The Dark Knight, Batman and Robin, Batwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, Nightwing, Catwoman, Birds of Prey. So Batwoman will not be involved. But Batwing will be, so that'll be interesting. So anyway, so we've got a lot more ground to cover here, so we'll be back.